Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 248, Meeting Grandma Again. The air hung heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows against the towering trees that lined the forest path. Anya adjusted her backpack and wiped away a stray bead of sweat from her brow. Even in the twilight, the climb had been relentless. Reaching a clearing, she gasped. Before her lay a breathtaking panorama. Rolling hills carpeted in emerald green stretched as far as the eye could see, dotted with charming red-roofed houses. A ribbon of silver snaked its way through the landscape, a river reflecting the fiery hues of the sunset. It was a scene straight out of a fairy tale. A pang of nostalgia washed over Anya. It had been 10 years since she'd last seen her grandmother's village. 10 years since a tragedy had ripped her from its embrace, casting her into the harsh anonymity of city life. Now, driven by a longing she couldn't ignore, she had returned. As she descended the path, the familiar sounds of laughter and chatter greeted her. A group of children played hopscotch in the village square, chased by a playful puppy. An old woman sat on her porch, rocking gently in her chair and humming a melody lost in time. The atmosphere buzzed with the sense of tranquility and joy that only a place like this could offer. Reaching the heart of the village, Anya's heart fluttered. There it stood, the little cottage with the rose-covered door, just as she remembered it. Memories flooded back, baking apple pies with her grandmother in the tiny kitchen, listening to stories by the crackling fireplace, running barefoot through the meadows that stretched behind the house. Taking a deep breath, she walked towards the door. A moment of trepidation washed over her, the fear of rejection. Years of separation left their mark. Had her grandmother forgotten her? Would she even allow her inside? The door creaked open before she could knock. There stood a familiar figure, framed by the warm glow of firelight. A smile stretched across her face, wrinkles deepening around her kind eyes. Tears welled up in Anya's eyes as she uttered the one word that encompassed all the longing in her heart. "Grandma!" The woman's smile widened, like a ray of sunshine piercing the dusk. She opened her arms, and Anya rushed into them, burying her face in the familiar scent of apple pie and lavender. In that embrace she was no longer a lost soul in the city. She was home. As the fire crackled, casting flickering shadows on the walls, the aroma of freshly baked bread filling the room, Anya listened to stories of her beloved village. Her grandmother spoke of a new life blooming every spring, the children growing into adults, the tradition of storytelling continuing under the night sky. Every word painted a vivid tapestry of a life worth living, a life she could now be a part of once again. As she fell asleep that night, lulled by the melody of crickets and the warmth of a fire, Anya knew she had found what she was missing. The city lights had once seemed alluring, but there, under the starry sky, surrounded by love and belonging, she understood. Happiness wasn't found in noise and anonymity. It rested in the embrace of home, the quiet rhythm of a village, the echoing whispers of shared stories. And in their gentle embrace, she was ready to begin her new chapter. Vocabulary notes. Scent. 1. Smell. 2. A pleasant smell. Pine, type of evergreen tree. Dip, verb, move downward. Noun, a downward movement. Casting of light, sending out rays. Towering, very tall. Clearing, an open space in a forest. Panorama, a wide view of an area. Emerald green, a rich green colour. Dotted, scattered with small objects. Ribbon of silver, a winding river. Reflected, sent back by a surface. Twilight, the time just before darkness. Fairy tale, a traditional story for children. Emotions, nostalgia, a sentimental longing for the past. Tragedy, a terrible event. Ripped, torn away. Longing, a strong desire for something. Embrace, to hug tightly. Anonymity, the state of being unknown. Tranquility, peace and quiet. Flung, through. Trepidation, fear or anxiety. Rejection, being refused or turned away. Tears welled, filled with tears. Encompass, to include or contain. Places and objects. Backpack, a bag carried on the back. Bead of sweat, a small drop of sweat. Path, a narrow track. Charming, pleasant and attractive. Red-roofed houses, houses with red tiles on the roof. Square, a central open area in a town or village. Hopscotch, a children's game played by hopping through squares. Puppy, a young dog. Porch, a covered area outside a house. Humming, singing a tune quietly. Buzzed, vibrated with activity. Cottage, a small house. Rose-covered door, a door covered with climbing roses. Apple pies, a baked dish with apples and pastry. Fireplace, a place where a fire is built. Meadows, fields of grass. Door creaked, the door made a scraping sound. Familiar figure, a person you know well. Kind eyes, eyes that are gentle and friendly. Aroma, a pleasant smell. Freshly baked bread, bread that has just been cooked. Flickering shadows, shadows that move slightly. Tapestry, a woven picture. Alluring, attractive and tempting. Story written by onemin.ai. Image created by onemin.ai. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.